Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tom Brault. I'm the youngest of Dottie Brault's 8 children that she gave birth to in just a 10-year span. On behalf of my father, all of my siblings, their respective families, and my family, thank you for attending the service this morning, or if you watched it live, and thank you for participating in this virtual tribute to my mom. As I was reflecting on the right story to share with you all, the right remembrance, there's joy and warmth in knowing that there are just so many. But the other night, as if it was meant to be, I remembered something, and I climbed up in my attic and I found my mom's. It's my 21st birthday present from my mom. You see, 32 years ago, I was a student studying abroad in Italy, and my mom loved it. Not only did she support it, but she emphasized it. She said, get the most out of your experience over there, boo. But you know, it was a birthday. It was a big one, and birthdays were so big for my mom. And this was a big one. 21, 16, those were important. And she called every decade a turning, and I was gone, and I wasn't with her. She was having none of that. I mean, she wanted to do something special. Well, I knew I was getting a birthday present from Mom. She told me, and I was getting a package, but she didn't tell me what. My buddies were like, Buddha, you're getting a package? There is a minor thing going on called the Clemson-Florida State football game. And whoever wins that game would be in the national title, and we knew it. And so my great brother, Jimmy, he videotaped the FSU Clemson game, and Mom sends the package, and Federal Express was a new company back then, and got sent to the dock, and we knew it was at the dock, but it didn't come up to us. We couldn't get it. So I went down there with this Italian kid, and he helped me, and we got it up to the villa, and I had all things set up. There were like 25 of us in this room, and we put the VCR in the tape, and it didn't work. And everybody's like, well, put in the other thing that Dottie Brault gave. And what happened was magical, Mom. I'm so happy to have kept this in your honor. But it was my sister Joan's wedding shower. And my mom had turned it into a family reunion, a combined event. And then she MCs it. She gets a mic and she goes around to everybody, and everybody was there. We had her Aunt Cappy. We had all the Lavers, all the Grawls, all the Parkers. We had everybody. We had Mom's brother, Bill, who was so special to her. And she goes over and interviews him, and he's talking, and he realizes that he served me underage beer at the beach the summer before, and everybody's howling, laughing. And as I look around the room, I see the impact, the positive impact that my mom and these events had on everybody in the room. And it was that realization for the first time just how extraordinary my mom is, was, and will always be. It's about the collective. You see, family was, is, and will always be her life's passion. It's us together. And they finally got the tape to work, and we watched it all, and it was the most epic play in college football history. It was Neon Dion beat us with the Punt-Ruski play. But Ma, everybody left happy. They met Dorothy Brault. Thank you, Mom, for all the wonderful memories, all the positive impact you had on all those people, all those years, all over the world. You're legendary. You're the greatest, Mom. I love you. God bless Dorothy Murray McCann Brault.
Hi there. Thank you, Brault family, for this opportunity to speak at Dottie's memorial service. I really appreciate it. And by way of introduction, for those that don't know me, my name is Esther White Laver. My mother was Dorothy Murray White, and she was a sister of Dottie's mother, Esther Murray McCann. The sisters were very close and named their daughters after one another. During World War II, we lived in Leesburg, Virginia. Dottie and her family were in the DC area, so we saw each other frequently. I have very happy memories of Bill McCann, Dottie's brother, and Dottie spending a number of weeks with us during the summer months. So I'm going to tell you a funny story. One summer day, I was probably about 9 or so, and Dottie 7 or so. We all were taken for a swim at a creek called Goose Creek outside of Leesburg. Dottie was in the water when she felt something squishy and yucky and something entangling her feet. I happened to be paddling around close to her, but with a shriek, she grabbed my head and neck and hung on and pushed me down. After a couple of tries at drowning me, my father finally took notice and rescued both of us. I think she just got caught up in some vines in the bottom of the creek, nothing serious. Dottie and I have laughed about this memory for 75 more years. Good times and lots of laughter between the Brault cousins and the Lavers have defined the relationship. The good times have taken place in Leesburg, Virginia, Rockville, Maryland, Bethany Beach, Delaware, and Carmel, California. And long may they last. Dottie, Al, and myself are so pleased that the good times have continued and will continue in the future with the younger generation. And now I'm especially fond of your whiskey sours, and I hope you will fix me one or two more. As Dottie was very proud of her Irish heritage, I'm going to close with the Irish prayer for the departed. I could not stay another day, to love, to laugh, to work or play, and tasks left undone must stay that way. And if my parting has left a void, then fill it up with remembered joy. And the Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you, may the wind be always at your back, and may the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. So Dorothy, I'm going to say goodbye. I love you and will miss you forever. Your devoted cousin, Esther.
No profile.
Oh.
No stomach, no stomach, no profile, no neck.
Just be quiet and smile.
Who are we looking at?
Thanks for the chance to share a few thoughts about Dottie. Judy and Kitty and our mother, as well as our kids, are all very sorry of Dottie's passing. We all feel so blessed that she was our aunt and truly an inspirational matriarch of the family for so many years. Al and Dottie always welcoming family and friends into their homes, whether it be Rockville or Bethany, or Dottie organizing a trip to Leesburg to see Aunt Dorothy and Esther, nieces, nephews, cousins, second cousins, third cousins. It was always a wonderful time and experience, and particularly to hear about the new things that she discovered as she researched our ancestry. One thing is certain about Dottie is that family was the most important thing to her, and what a great example for each and every one of us to have observed and seen over the years. And I think finally, my sisters and I very much cherish the bond that our father and Dottie had as brother and sister. And I think if we listen hard enough, that we could probably hear an Irish toast between the two of them about now, as well as telling a story and having a good laugh. Thanks so much, and God bless.
We will now open the event for anyone who would like to say a few words or share a memory of Dottie. In order to indicate that you would like to share, please use the raised hand feature. You will find the raised hand feature at the bottom of your screen. Depending on your version of Zoom, this will be found in participants or reactions. Click the raised hand icon, and when it is your turn to speak, you will receive an alert in the middle of your computer screen to unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself and begin speaking at that time. Please feel free to also share your memory in the chat box if you would prefer. First, we'll hear from Mark Laver.
Hello, everyone. Thank you to Jim, Carol, and Tom for your comments. It's very moving. I wish I could be there with you now, but so happy to see all of this live. I'm glad Chris is there to comfort you. And I know Esther and Colin and all of our families are praying for you and offer deep condolences and remember Dottie's remarkable life that brought joy to all the laborers and so many. I have so many ways to think of the great impacts Dottie had on us and to reflect on her accomplishments and achievements. We were separated by thousands of miles, but Dottie's charm, dignity, wit, generosity, curiosity, love, and devotion to family were abundantly clear to all of us West Coasters. The great memorable visits dating back almost 60 years, big Thanksgiving meals with boisterous laughs, and seeing Dottie lead this wonderful family was great to witness. Knowing Dottie's mom was my grandmother's sister created a cherished bond, and proud to be related to her and all of her fine qualities. Visits to the beach house were always so special, as Dottie was such a gracious host and always wanted us to have the best time, except one time when I was arrested by the Bethany police. We had big crab dinners with newspapers flung on tables and a large feeding frenzy underway. And Dottie had her hand in all the festivities and so appreciate all she did to make our visit so special. Attending Brault weddings were always so great to see how proud she was of all her children. Leesburg, we had so many events here at my grandmother's home and Dottie was present. Often remember the laughter and storytelling. And so enjoyable to see Dottie and my mom and others express pure joy. Dottie was proud to share her family history, and I gladly listened. She gave me a file on my last visit and will prosper knowing about her passion to enrich us all with the knowledge of our past. I took Linda back east in 1992, and she received a tour of her nice home and learned of family history, and to this day remembers detailed accounts from Dottie. Dottie reached out to comfort me during my son's struggles and was reassured by her compassion. I'm blessed to be a part of this family and to see up close the remarkable life of Dottie Brault. To know of her goodness and greatness will always be with me. Our family loves you all dearly. Linda and Carolyn wish they could be there, and me too now to comfort you. God bless Dottie and love, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Is there anyone else who would like to say a few words? I'd like to ask everyone to now choose gallery view in order to see everyone who has gathered. Oh, here we go. We have a few people. First, Lynn Green.
Am I on? Can you hear me?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Anyway, I just wanted to say hello to everybody, to the Brault family. I love you all so much. I loved your mother. And this was just beautiful today. You all did just a great job. And I know she'd be so happy. And I just want you all to know how I feel. You've been such a big part of my life, all of you, especially your mom. So just giving you a shout out, a big hello, and a big hug from Vero Beach, Florida. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome.
Harrison Bray.
Hi. Thanks. First, thank you so much for organizing this. It's really special to hear from everyone and to see this beautiful slideshow. To introduce myself, I'm Harrison. I'm the oldest grandchild of 15. I've been blessed to have granddaddy in my life for nearly 32 years. I am here with my wonderful partner, Elena, who I love dearly, as modeled by the beautiful love of my two grandparents shared with each other. So I'm a mathematician. That means I do math for a living by choice and for a living. And I teach. And I am brave enough to even make that choice, much less reveal it to a bunch of strangers who I have maybe only met once or a few times over Zoom, because in large part because of the extraordinary passion that my grandmother had for life. The incredible, I mean, she had so many passions and hobbies and collections, so many collections. She just lived such a rich and full life. And so because I'm a teacher and I do the Zoom thing a lot, I thought it might be fun it would mean a lot to me if we could all in the chat share some of the passions that granddaddy had that inspired us. So grandkids, I know you can handle the chat. I know you guys have this, but if anyone else would be willing to just put in the chat, something she collected or one of her passions that really struck you. And for those who don't like the chat thing, I can read out loud the things that people put in there, but it would mean a lot to me if anyone would be willing to participate in that. Sorry to make everyone in the house stand up and walk around to the computer. The grandkids are on it. I know everyone's waiting patiently, but they've got this. Puzzles. She always had a puzzle at the beach house going, and anytime we were blessed with the opportunity to come up there and check out the deck, she'd always have a new puzzle. Antiques, American history, books, quarters, so many quarters. There was a series of several years where every grandkid got a new state quarter for Christmas. Carrie says, my college major was history because of her. Nancy says, photos everywhere, every surface possible. $2 bills. Yeah, there was another year where every grandchild got $2 bills. Stamps too. She had stamps, I remember. She had so many little things that she kept from her family. Obviously genealogy, everyone knows that. She had so many little things around her house. That whole second floor could basically be a mini museum. There were so many interesting little things that she kept, that she really treasured, and so much Christmas stuff. She loved Christmas. It's really hard to have spent a Christmas without her. And World War II movies. There is this huge shelf still in that house of movies after movie after movie, and enormous percentage of World War II movies. So I think I speak on behalf of all of the other grandchildren that, when you're growing up and you're trying to be cool and you're trying to fit in, and maybe you fall in love with something or have some hobby that is really special to you, it's so important to have someone like Granddaddy in your life to just love things without shame or reservation, to just fall into her passions so openly and unabashedly. And we all will always carry that with us, and I will always treasure that about her. Thank you.
Thank you, Harrison. If anyone else would like to say a few words, please feel free to raise your hand, or you can just wave to the screen and we can unmute you in that way. And while we're considering, oh, hi, Carol.
So I've got the great Chris Laver here.
Oh, geez. You're gonna do this to me, aren't you?
Yeah, we sure are.
Hello, everybody. I'm so lucky to be here, seeing this and watching everybody and having a chance to hug Al and all my favorite second cousins. We miss Dottie terribly, but we know she's not suffering. Al looks great, by the way. I think he looks younger than me. We had a great talk about the Peel painting in the dining room. I learned a lot about history already in my hour. Anyway, God bless. Take care, everybody.
So my oldest sister can't do it.
All right, I'll do a toast.
Wants to do a quick toast.
How much time do I have?
10 seconds.
Oh, then never mind.
30 seconds.
No.
As long as you want, Katie. We'd love to hear from you. You don't have to.
Okay.
Please, Katie.
Well, this time of year,
You got it?
wait a minute, how do I do this?
I got you.
I can't see you all I can see is my face. Lucky me. This time of year, we would give a toast. And it wasn't necessarily with libation, although I have one right here.
Yeah, here you go.
It was mostly for us to open our hearts to each other and express gratitude to each other.
You had it.
Thank you. So it's only fitting that I give a toast. Okay, this is weird because I have this echo, but I'm sorry.
Keep going. You're doing good. Don't stop.
All right, thanks.
Go with the flow.
So it's only fitting that I give a toast right now because that's what we would do. We would sit around with, when we were growing up, it would be all of us kids. And I guess it's okay to say that it was pretty much me being the pain in the rear to do it and push everybody to do it. But it evolved, and now it's the grandkids, and it's, like I said, it's and my nieces and nephews. So it's sort of a opportunity to open our hearts to each other. So I'd like to give a toast to Mom. And I think what I'd like to focus on is this last year. So Mom, thank you for showing us what courage really looks like. You faced some difficult things with courage. You were brave. You had grace. Somebody used the word dignity, and I would say that. Somebody also said today humor, and there's no question about that too, because no offense to hospitals, but she thought they were her jail. And she really didn't want to ever go back there. And I think what I want to say most particularly is you gave us the opportunity to help you. So
it was really a gift to us. Your gift to us was being able to help you, show our care for you, care about you, love you. It's a smidgen of what you did for us, but the big gift was that you let us do that for you. So if you have a glass, which I do, this is my third, but who's counting? Here's to you, Mom.
Mom.
Dottie!
Forever.
Cheers.
Thank you, Katie.
Carol, need that.
Okay. I've Maria, I'm going to keep going around the family here unless someone else wants to chime in. Let me know.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, Mayor.
Yeah, walk around, Carol.
Oh, I forgot my mask. Go ahead.
I really don't know what else I can add to all these wonderful tributes. I want to thank everyone for making this day so special. And for those that have taken the time to just say their farewells and their tribute and their love to my mother, it's very much appreciated. Godspeed to Mom.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm gonna, I'm walking into we've got TVs all over the house here. Maria, I've got to
Yes.
put my mask on, so I want to pop off for a second. I'll be back in a second.
Sounds great.
If anybody else wants to speak.
Jean, do you want to wave to the camera?
Okay, great, Carol. We're
Jean
still with you.
We'll say hi.
Hi.
Thank you, Jean.
Thank you, Mom.
Anybody else, Maria?
Nope.
Okay.
We're loving hearing from you
The
guys.
kids are downstairs, so I am heading down. Oh, here's Buddha.
Yeah, go show the
So-
grandkids. That's all she cared about.
Yeah, okay. Who's next? There you go, bud.
Sure. Hello. Here we all are. Okay.
This is Big Steve. Big Steve sooner or later is going to root for Clemson, even though he's in Maryland.
No way. No way.
I wanted to explain something for everybody that's watching. And my oldest sister and the oldest of our family, Katie Brault, just had me correct something I said. Granddaddy cared about everybody, and her heart was enormous. So not just Stephen and the rest of the grandchildren, but everybody. So God bless everybody.
Okay. I'll tell a bit of a story with Grandma. I remember back when I was a kid, she used to have me count these quarters. They were all, different state quarters. I don't know where she got all these quarters from, but they were from like all different states and stuff. And she'd have me come over and collect them into these like quarter holders. It was 40 quarters in each holder to make $10 for each row. And they had to be organized by state. And, as a kid, I was like, man, this is lame. What am I doing here? At the end of the day, she'd be like, okay, yeah, all these quarters, they're yours. I was like, huh? I mean, I wasn't complaining about that, but yeah, I would have loads and loads of quarters, like a whole drawer just full of quarters. But I just think that's really funny of her to, have been collecting these quarters and have me sort of organizing them for her. I think partly because she needed to get rid of them, but partly trying to rub off on me a little, which certainly has affected me, I think, a lot. I notice a lot of similarities in my interests to Grandma's interests, and I noticed that throughout all of us. And I notice her just influence everywhere throughout this family, and I'm so grateful for her, and I love you, Grandma.
Thank you, Bob. Kilcar family.
Riley, wait. Move here. Here we are. Sit here. Right, can you hold it? I can. Here, I'll get I got. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello. I would like to say a little something about Grandma. I remember every Christmas she would get me a snow globe, and I would get so excited to open the presents and see them. And I still have every single one on my bureau. So. One move next. Your AJ.
So me and my family would always go down to Bethany and visit grandma and granddad at the beach house. And as you all well know, grandma was fascinated with American history and World War II, and I was as well. So every time I'd go down there, I'd always, if I was tired of the beach, I'd go and watch the History Channel. And so whenever grandma would come down, we'd always talk about battles or books or movies, anything related to American history. And I always loved talking about that with grandma.
AJ, hand it to Aunt Kara. You can ask Maria.
Hi, I just want to thank everyone, and I'm going to hand it back to Maria. The only thing I'll add is I wish I could have spent 2 hours telling you all today about our amazing mom and all the stories and the great life she gave us. We're just so darn lucky. Lucky. Maria, take it away.
Okay, thanks, Carol. And if we don't have anybody else who'd like to add something, then at this moment, we'll conclude today's gathering. On behalf of the Brault family, thank you for joining us. And before we go, we hope that you'll please enjoy this final farewell.
Are you ready? Happy birthday, happy birthday! This is... Your father's making me laugh. This is your day to have a lot of fun. Blow out the candles on the cake and make a wish. Oh my gosh. This is the dumbest song. It doesn't even end. It just stops and it doesn't even end. Well, I apologize for that. I'll have to come up with something a little better for you.
I want to let you know, Boo, I almost hit a telephone pole when she started that scream. At least Mother has proven that she can sing just as bad without a drink as she can after she's had one.
Hi, everybody. We're actually back because with every great party, you never wanted to end. And I wanted to say, Kevin, did you want to say something?
I'm just going to speak up for the Clemson rugby team and support our brother Buddha. We love you. And just a quick story. Most of us, I imagine, just met Dottie one time about 35 years ago. We were on a trip up there to watch Clemson play football against Maryland. And we ended up on a bus ride from their house over to the stadium on a bus filled with, I think, judges and lawyers, a whole crowd of people that we generally tried to avoid at all costs. But it ended up being a fantastic time. We had a whole bunch of fun on the bus, on the stadium, at the game. And we've all told a bunch of stories over the years about everything else that happened that weekend, and we won't repeat any of those here. But there were two stories about Dorothy that have always made us laugh. One was one of our buddies, Mike, also a mathematician. He ended up lost and stuck somewhere around Baltimore. I don't know where it was. I don't know any of the details of the story, but all we knew is that Buddha's mom drove out there and picked him up and took care of him, and he was so glad to see her. This was back during the time of cell phones or anything, so he was truly stranded. She saved him. And then after the football game, I got left out in the van all night, and it was about 20 below there, and my guys didn't love me enough to take care of me, and I don't know why they left me out there. But that morning, I came knocking on the door about 6 o'clock in the morning, freezing to death, and Miss Dorothy took care of me that morning too. She warmed me up, gave me breakfast, and sent me on down to the playroom to hang out with the kids, which is, I guess, is where all the grandkids are right now. But Buddha, we love you. We love your whole family, and we thank you for taking us in up there that weekend. And we just pray for peace and joy for your family, and peace for Dottie now at rest. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
And Jill Biss.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Brault. I just wanted to mention a couple things about Dottie. We are her next door neighbors. I've known Dottie for more than 18 years now. She's been a wonderful neighbor. She's absolutely delightful, a real class act. It just never really mattered what circumstances. She just always was put together. She always had it on the ball. She was completely family oriented. She's the only one in the neighborhood I could call if I was baking and I ran out of a supply. She was just terrific. And one story I wanted to share is that I really like gardening. And I was out back one day, and I had a big old floppy hat on, and I was just busting a gut and weeding and doing all kinds of things out back. And I finished up, and I started to go down to the sheds in back. And we have one that's built substantially, the top of the door is at a really weird angle. It, like, when you walk up to it, it hits you right here. So you have to duck to get into the shed itself. And I had this big floppy hat on, and I was really exhausted, totally sweated up, very nasty, And I was just in a big all-fired hurry to get back in the house, get in the shower, get cleaned up. So I'm trucking down to the shed, and the door's wide open. And because of the brim on the hat, I totally checked out. I didn't remember the duck. So I slammed into the top of this door frame at like full force. My feet flew up in the air. My feet were higher than my head. And I woke up on the ground. Blood was everywhere. My husband was not home. And so the first thing I thought, well, gee, maybe I'll go see Dottie. So I trundle over there and I ring the doorbell, and she comes to the door, and she's like, oh my goodness, what happened to you? I'm like, Dottie, oh my gosh, I think I'm bleeding to death. Can you just take a look at the top of my head? Do I need stitches? What's the deal? So she takes me into the kitchen and she goes and gets some alcohol and some peroxide and she's cleaning me up. And I'm like panicking. I'm like, please tell me I don't have to go to the ER. I don't want to go get stitches. Don't want to get in there. She goes, oh, for heaven's sake, you're not going to die. You're not bleeding to death. You're absolutely fine. Here, have a cup of tea. So, I mean, she was always just so delightful. And I'm going to miss her terribly. The best neighbor ever. And a beautiful, beautiful soul. So, I hope you rest in peace, Dottie, and I'll love you always. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. I'm just taking a moment to look around to see if there's anybody else who would like to say anything. Harrison?
I thought I could share a note that my friends wrote because I think it says a lot about how she and my granddad opened their house to everyone and all are welcome was always the mentality. And the fact that she even got to know my friends so well and always asked about them, remembered their family history, incredible. She had an incredible memory, which she always pretended to not have, but we knew. So I thought I'd share the note that they sent me to comfort me because I thought it was really sweet. And it says a lot about her. Harrison, we're so sorry to hear of Granddaddy's passing. She was such a warm, lovely woman. Thank you for sharing her with us and bringing that wonderful woman into our lives. We were so lucky to get to know her. She taught us so many valuable lessons. Real women don't pump their own gas. Bring the flag down respectfully every night. The correct way to hang the Maryland flag, how to properly freeze vegetables, and most importantly, the value of opening your heart and home to others. And we'll always treasure our time spent with her. And this is a reference to the Babe that I'm about to read, just so that you don't get offended. But she may have had the heart of a pig, but she had the spirit of an angel. We love you so much and are sending love and healing vibes to you and your family. I just really loved the, she joked so much about that heart valve, calling herself Babe, and she made light of such a horrible, horrible situation. Yeah, and I love you all. I love her so much and I'll miss her so much. And many, many people will, even those who couldn't be with us today because of the circumstances.
Thank you, Harrison. Once again, on behalf of the Brault family, thank you so much for joining us today.